Hello guys and welcome to another P.A.B. frequently asked questions hobby support group, a place where you can ask any hobby questions and I will do my best to answer them and to help you with your hobby progress and whatever you want to know about me or the channel you can ask too. So I will be here for about an hour and a half answering questions. The more people there are, the longer I will stay here answering all the questions that pop up in the chat. So you have any hobby question, anything you want to know, just go into the chat and ask away. And it will be nice if someone, everything seems to be fine, but if there is any problem with the audio, just please let me know in the chat. And in the meantime, while someone confirms that everything is a-okay, I want to talk about what is coming to the channel in this couple weeks. So for you that don't know already, I am starting to do early access videos for my patrons and channel members. So I already have a video for this next week. It's already up. So if you want to watch it, you know what to do. And if you don't want, but you will just have to wait a few days. So coming this week, you're going to be able to see this video here. Is about painting pink power swords. That is already up, and it's honestly one of the best videos that I've made about painting power swords. I'm really proud of it. So if you want to see it, it's already there. If you look closely, you will obviously recognize it's based on Vince Venturella's pink video. That was my inspiration. I was wanting to make a pink power sword video for a long time, and it was never perfect. And thanks to him, it's looking amazing, and I'm really proud of it. So that's coming this Friday for the regular people, and the week after that, I'm also starting to paint this guy. So you will be able to see in a couple of weeks a new Tyranid video. This will be obviously High Fleet Behemoth, but maybe not the High Fleet Behemoth that you're expecting, because to me High Fleet Behemoth is second edition Tyranid Codex. So this will be a retro Tyranid, retro Termagant. So expect that in a couple of weeks, and I think it's looking really good. I'm really proud of it too. So with that out of the way, you can also just figure out that I'm starting to learn to use Streamlabs OBS better. So and if you hear some noise in the background, it's my kid playing, because my family is here, obviously. So just know that no one is being harmed, I think. So welcome all to the P.A.B. support group, and let's start with some questions. Sebastian is asking, I need some tips to keep in mind for sculpting an ice glacier over a water lake. I'm making a diorama base. Maybe I'm not the best to talk about terrain, but there's a couple of options. If you want to make it and if you want to paint it, my personal advice would be to do it out of foam. Get a good foam and just carve it into the shape of an ice glacier. That's what I would do personally. So you can obviously do a coat of some kind of PVA glue over the top, so it's smooth for the paint job. And another lengthy option would be to do that and then do a mold and cast it in clear resin, so you have some amazing looking realistic ice, but that it may be out of your reach. So that's something to have in mind. And for painting it, if you want to paint it, I will just use some very clear teals and some very bright colors like that. Very subtle work, and you should be done. Don't forget to add some snow over the top facets of the ice. Terrainosaur is asking, hello, I've started to paint my 16 post walkers following your last video step by step. Thank you, man. I really hope you liked it. Hello, Sam. Thank you for your support, by the way. Okay. Yeah, frame rate is quite low as usual, but yeah, that's nothing to do with me, sadly. that's something to do with YouTube. But what can you do? Or maybe my home connection, but it shouldn't be. But who knows? Alex is asking, what is the best white for airbrush, the most opaque? I don't use an airbrush. I don't own an airbrush, so I wouldn't know. But I know for sure that some of the best white for the airbrush is white ink. So, basing my advice on the advice of others, just get white ink. My favorite white ink is a Dalerani FW. This is not the original bottle, by the way. This is a plastic one because I just prefer it to the glass containers, and that would be my advice for that. Good morning, 3D Sculpted Printed Minis. That's a very descriptive name. Norman again is asking, any chance for a tutorial on OSL at one point? Yeah, I want to make one. I'm not very good at it, so that's the reason number one why I'm not doing it. But I do want to make one, and I have a Creek Mini, Death Corpse of Creek plasma canner that I'm probably going to paint for the channel, and then I'm going to add the OSL in a different video. That is the plan. If it doesn't work, well, I have more plasma gunners. So. Mark Atkinson, could we expect a video on darker skin tones at some point? Unless I'm blind, that's already on the channel. No, it's not. Yes, the only problem I have is I need to find the minis that I want to paint, that I find interesting, and that will have a lot of skin that I can paint darker. So at some point, yes, I will do a video on darker skin tone, because that's something that I want to make. So yeah. Anthony Fisher, hi, what's your opinion on dry pigments? I have a few. I have another bottle somewhere, but I can't find it. I have Vallejo pigment. This is dark red ochre. I use this for my basing for the Mars basing video, and it's really good. I mean, I really like them. I don't use them a lot because I'm very lazy to do bases, but yeah, they are good. They are really good for basing. They are really good for basing for terrain, and just to add a bit of realism, because of course you cannot achieve such a dry effect with paints. So yeah, really good product to have. And if you want to see me using them, you can just watch the how to base Martian terrain. It's the only video where I have used them. And if in the future I use more, I make more basing videos, I will try and use them more. But that's not a promise. I'm really lazy with basing. 3D Sculpted Printed Minis asking, are there any specific blending techniques you think are over-exaggerated in their effectiveness, and any you think are underrated? All techniques have their place. I personally don't like wet blending. I understand why people do it, but it's never worked for me. I've tried a lot of times. I tried with miniature painting. I tried with canvas and acrylics, and it never worked for me. So I don't know why, but I don't like it. But I know it works well. I mean, nothing is really over exaggerated in how well. I do have something that I think is over exaggerated lately, because a couple of guys made a video about it, which is undercoating your yellow with pink. Yes, it works. Yes, it gives a good result, but it's not the be and all of, I mean, the perfect way of painting yellow. It's not. It's just another way of painting yellow, and I personally don't like it. I prefer to add my shading myself after painting the base coat of yellow. I see the point, but I think it's hyped too much. And each time someone is asking how to paint yellow, you can see the answers on Facebook, and everyone is start with pink, start with pink. No, don't start with pink. If you want to start with pink, you need to make a gradient. You can't just start with pink. You need to start with pink, and then do a sanital with white or with bone, and then apply over that the yellow with an airbrush. And also you will need an airbrush to make it easy. So yeah. And as underrated, again, techniques are just that, are just a tool, but I just use glazing all the time, so that's all I do. But I really think painting with washes and inks and contrast paints in general, people don't see all the potential that it has. That's why I started the heavy contrast series, to show people what you can do. Because I've been using similar techniques, because that is not new, in the past, with inks and with shades over a white undercoat, and I think it's fantastic. So yeah, but again, it's not new. Again, Norman is asking thoughts on the upcoming Old World from GW. Excited, skeptical? I'm not excited. I don't play GW games. I don't care for GW games. I just hope they make good minis for it, so I can buy more minis to use with play in Kings of War. But my thought is, I know that somehow, in some way, they will find, they will make it so you can't use your old armies with it. That's what I think. That is a given. No one spends 3-4 years of development of a full team working on it to sell a book. So if you want to play the old world, you will have to buy new minis. I can guarantee you that, at least in official tournaments and so on. So yeah. And I don't know how will they do it, but they are going to do it, and that I can guarantee you. So yeah, if I do the OSL tutorial, as Sam is asking, yes, I will do it with blue OSL, because I think that is the easiest and the most the color that people associate with plasma more, so that it will be blue, and I will do it. It's just a matter of just finding the time to do it. But it's a very convenient tutorial, because I can paint the mini for 1 week, and for the next week I can just do a very quick video about the OSL. So that is something that I'm really looking forward to, but I just need to find the time. Michael Wright, your models always look crispy clean. Do you do anything special to fill gaps and remove mold lines? Thank you for everything you do. It's my pleasure. No, I just use a scalpel like this to remove my mold lines. Just scraping with it. It has a very thin tip, so I can get into all the nooks and crannies. And then just glue it with ultra thin Tamiya glue. And if I need to fill a gap, which is rare with the new models, with new plastics, but if I do, I usually do use green stuff, because that's what I like to use, and that's what I have. So yeah. But I'm really thorough with it. I really like cleaning my models really well. If you have a lot of metal minis to clean up, that can be a pain. I'm quite lucky, because I'm a goldsmith, so I have a wide assortment of tools to work with metal, including a very expensive hand drill and a very expensive set of burrs of different sizes, shapes. So it's easy for me, and it's still a pain. So I don't know what to say. Metal minis are horrible to work with. Yeah, yellow is a range. Yeah, exactly. If you do a pink undercoat, it's only going to be orangey yellow, and yellow has more possibilities than just that. Yeah, I do agree. Anthony Fisher, more basing videos would be good. I'm also basing lazy. My idea with the basing videos was not to make like particular particular basing videos like base tundra or base desert. My idea was always to make videos about the basic products you can use, so basing paste, crackling paint, pigments, snow effects, and so on. So you can then mix them all together. And I think I've run out of products because I've done water effects, I've done basing paste, I've done sand, I've done snow, crackling paint, and pigments. So I don't know what more to do. Also, basing videos perform so badly; it's horrible. I finished the series, and I'm not sure I will do anything else, but maybe if I find something interesting, I will do. Eddie, hey, I really love your channel. Your videos have taught me a lot. Keep up the amazing work. Would you ever consider doing any videos designed around painting minis to tabletop standard? The problem is what you see in the heavy contrast series is how I paint my tabletop standard minis. So yeah, that's how I paint tabletop. That's how I am, and that's how I like to paint. So not sure I can help you with that. Sorry. There are a ton of channels of painting minis to lower standards. I just want to paint minis the way I like to paint them. And thank you for watching, and thank you for the kind words. It's really appreciated. Sam asks, some advice on how to mimic Craft Wall Studio style. No, it's witchcraft. Maybe, I don't know, send a letter to Hogwarts and see if they let you in. I have no idea how they make it, sorry. They are, I can see the brushstrokes and I can see what they're doing. But it's a style that is very personal, and that I know that technically I can paint like that. I mean, I can see where the brushstrokes are and how everything is done, but replicating their style, you have to think like that. You have to know what colors to use, and that is really, I could maybe copy one of their minis or one of to show it, but I wouldn't be able to do that as originally as they do for all their minis. It's really, really difficult because it's not technique, it's just style, and that's difficult to showcase. So yeah. Yeah, congrats for your 19 Cantor. Thank you. I was really proud of it. She is there in my. She is there in my display cabinet. I'm not sure what I will do with her. I'm going to make a display plinth, and I'm not sure what I will do with her, because maybe I will use her to just feel another spot in the future Golden Demons, because I don't care about not showing the minis I'm going to send. But yeah, maybe that, maybe not sure about that, but you know, maybe. And if I don't, I will probably sell her, because I have no use for minis. Once they are painted, I just don't care. Terrainosaur, what can I use to highlight Grief Charger Grey? Well, depends on what you are. Depends on what you have put the Grief Charger Grey over. If it's white, I have used Ulthuan Grey and white. If you put it over Wraithbone, you can probably use the same Wraithbone or something like the Deepkin Flesh tone. Something like that can work. A lot of colors can. Any off-white should do it. But yeah, it really depends on what you put it over. And I've done Grief Charger Grey. You can see the Alpha Legion video. His cloth is painted with Grief Charger Grey, and you can see how I do it, like there. That could be useful. Good morning, James. Norman Peterson, are you surviving Spain being so cold these days? So it had reached minus 38 C in the mountains recently. Yeah, it's really cold here. I live in the north, which is usually cold, but we have a lot of sea, so it's never really that extreme. We're not in the interior land where where all the really cold temperatures get. So I'm okay. It's how many degrees is here? It's 8 degrees here, so it's not that bad. For my American viewers, if there are any, I don't know how much that is in Freedom Heights, sorry. Sweet Sculpted Minis again, have you tried Reaper Bones and Bones Black figures? If so, how would you compare them to Finecast? No, I haven't. I don't own any Bone Minis or any Bone Black. And in the subject of Finecast, I think people over-exaggerate how bad it was. It was really bad in the first batches, though those were renownedly bad. But I really like Finecast Minis. Funny enough, I really like Finecast. I think the detail is sharp. The minis are quite strong. They don't break easily. They can be fixed with hot water super easily, and it's soft material, so you can cut it very easily too. And it's just a joy to work with. People really over-exaggerate how bad it was. I don't agree with them. Again, the first batches were horrible, but then GW learned the lesson, and the next ones are just fantastic. I really like it. It's just a bit of pain to strip. If you use alcohol like I do, it can really mess your minis. So yeah, that can be a problem. So if I buy Finecast, I buy new. I never buy second-hand Finecast minis because I never know what I will get. Yeah, Terrainosaur has a good suggestion. If you want to know how to follow a terrain channel, I really suggest you follow, if you aren't following already, the guy from the Greek rail. Oh, what's his name? Luke Towan. Luke Towan's channel is absolutely amazing, and you can apply most of the things he does to your basing, which is really good. I know he's talking about. Yeah, I think Rob is talking about the Craft Wall Studios style. Yeah, they are both at Graduates, and they are both really artistic inclined people. They have studied art for a long time, so it's not like a regular hobbyist. They really know what they're doing. Happy New Year, happy 2021, everyone. Hello. Konradson, hello. Marek Kitelar, I hope I didn't mispronounce your name. Maybe Kitelar? I don't know. Your videos are inspirational, though I feel as standard unobtainable with my shaky hands. Much love to you, Juan. About shaky hands, I recently watched a video about dealing with shaky hands, and it was really good, and it featured one of my clips. So I was and he even left my link to my channel in the description because he was referencing how I was picking my models. It's a really good video, but I just can't remember who did it. But look in YouTube, painting miniatures with Tremors or something like that, or dealing with shaky hands with miniatures, something like that, and you will find it. It was really good. If someone knows what video I'm talking about, please put a link into the chat. That will be very useful. Hello, to paint marble, what technique would you use? The best one I've seen is using the old trick of using baby wipes. dry baby wipes. You take a baby wipe, you let it dry, then you rip it off, put it over the surface you want to be marble, and just use your airbrush to do different layers of different colors, and it works really well. I don't have an airbrush, so I don't know, but I've seen incredible results using that technique. You can do sort of marble by hand, but it's never as good. Yeah. Okay. Everyone is wishing a new year. A lot of Spanish people. Hola. Yeah, 3D sculpted printed minis 8C is 26 is 46 freedom heights. So yeah, Luke Towan, yeah, Luke Towan is amazing. Sam asking, how do you organize your paints and your workspace in general? Recently, I've noticed that paint bottles occupy the majority of my working table, so I'm thinking about a way to contain them. Well, you can see in the back, I have some IKEA. Like this. This is how I do it. This is what I like. Those are IKEA cutlery trays for your kitchen drawers, and I use those because they fit my shelf really well, and they fit a lot of bottles into them. I have 3 of them right now, and they are all full full of paints. Okay. Sebastian Marrero is asking, what's your favorite thing to do with surplus green stuff? I'm one of those people that just doesn't care when I mix green stuff, and I always mix more than I need, like everyone else. I just let it there, let it dry, and just throw it into the bin. I don't care. If I was sculpting for a living, I would probably do something with them, like a skull or something. You know, a lot of things. Maybe weapon, maybe spikes, maybe just roll into a tube to later cut on and make small discs. But I don't really care. Oh yeah, that's yeah. Yes, Terrainosaur. Yes, said. Sorry, I really couldn't remember who made that video. I thought it was amazing. Yeah. So if you have problems with shaky hands or with tremors, just go to Terrainosaur's channel. His video, how to paint with tremors, is really good. Absolutely, 100%. Each time I have someone asking how they paint with tremors, I usually point to that video, but I never remember who it was, but I will for now on. So thank you for making them. You can put a link to that video if you want in the description, in the chat. I will try to put one in the description if I remember, but my head will just usually forgets everything once this is over. Alberto is asking, have you painted resin miniatures of 3D, for example? I have printed a lot of resin miniatures, but none. I'm lying. I painted a resin, 3D printed resin mini for my kid for Christmas. It was a baby Yoda, and it was just like painting any other resin minis. I just primed it and painted. It was fantastic. Yeah, well, it was yeah. Yeah, I think some of the Gunpla, Grady just pointed out that to make marble, some of the Gunpla people use dryer sheets, the sheets that you put into the dryer for the marbling effect. So yeah, any kind of stretchy fiber cloth that you can tear into different random shapes will work really well. Oh, Barry is here, our lovely troll from Poland. Love you, guy. I have a WhatsApp. Yeah, someone. That's the one I recommend to paint one. Just take the white. Dalarowny FW. Those are the ones. I have a friend sending me a WhatsApp to confirm the white ink I was talking about was the one he was going to shop. By the way, Samuel is an amazing sculptor. I think he really should make a channel about sculpting. I'm not sure he's making more minis, but he made some of the best halfling minis I've ever seen. Yeah. Yeah. Marek, don't feel bad about shaky hands. It happens to everyone. It's just you can really overcome it if you have the right technique, or at least reduce it and get good results. Oh, I didn't know Black Magic Craft made a video on shakes, so yeah, check that out too. He makes great videos. Oh yeah. Yeah. So yeah, Terrainosaur is asking. He is saying he made that video because he has Parkinson's, and that's amazing. So you really can overcome everything if you just try. I always say this because I really feel great admiration for her, but I have a patron that is called Heather Amstead, and she lost her dominant hand in a car, I think it was a motorcycle accident, and she is now painting again with her non-dominant hand. So that's her right hand because she was a lefty, and the evolution from the first mini that she showed to us, painted with the wrong hand, and the last one is just incredible. She's made some incredible progress just by trying and by sheer power of will and determination. So you can check her work on Instagram. I think the ad handle is The Real Iron Hand. So if you go and search for The Real Iron Hand on Instagram, you will find her. Yeah, very interesting question. Any advice, any advice on brush control? It's just practice. That's one of those things that yeah, my kid is really happy about something. It's one of those things that you cannot really that you don't really know how to do it. How you do it is something that you do without thinking. But what I will advise you to try and practice is just try to paint using just the very tip of the brush, so not the side, just the very end of the strands, and try to make lines don't try to make side lines. Those are really hard to make. Up and down lines are the easiest to get right. So if you have to make a straight line, try to always do it up and down with your wrist is always easier. Sebastian asking, any dream sponsorship or collaboration? Well, I've started, to be honest, my first sponsor, which has been Skillshare. You can see the first sponsored video is the Box Walker one, and there is another one coming. The Tyranid one will be sponsored too. And Skillshare is one of those sponsor that is all over YouTube that I really respect. So that's why I accepted that. So that's one of my dream sponsorships, because I'm really proud of them coming to me and asking for a sponsorship. I never reached to them. They were the ones reaching back to me if I was interested, and of course I was. And apart from that, I've been trying to get GW to send me models for about a year. So I sent them the first email when I reached the 10k sub mark, another one when I got over 20, another one when I got over 30, and I'm still waiting a response. So I mean, I get it, they have a limited availabilities or whatever, so they can't send a kit to everyone that is asking. But if they ever want to send me a kit or something to paint, like they did with the Silent King, with the Boy Dragon and whatever, I would be very glad. I would be awesome. But I don't really care. I just do my thing. I do what I like to make, and if someone wants to send me stuff or want to sponsor me, I'm really happy to accept it. If I feel what they offer is a good product. Yeah, with collaborations, I don't do collabs. I've tried to do collabs twice, and both of them just didn't. It wasn't a fault of anyone. It wasn't the other people, the other person fault, and it wasn't mine. It's just that we all have a life, and we all have a limited time, and it's always hard to combine everything and to make everything work. So the first one, I was talking with Angel Giraldo to make one, and it just never came to be. He is a great guy, and I had a really good fun talking with him and pitching out ideas. But in the end, it was never the right time. It was never. So in the end, I just left it. And the other one, I don't know if it will happen, so I will just keep my mouth shut about that one, because who knows, it may happen at some point. So we will see. But yeah, the problem with collabs is, or what I feel is, most of them are just I don't know, disposable content, if you're willing to call it like that. Is entertaining videos that usually people watch when you publish them and then never watch again, because who the hell cares about that? And I don't like that kind of let's say fast food or disposable content in the channel. I just want to make painting videos, and I want to make videos that people will want to watch, not just now, but 5-10 years from now. There is a chance that people will search and find my videos. So yeah, I don't know. It may happen. It may not happen. But yeah, if I make a collab, it will have to be a really interesting one. But about sponsorships, I'm open to everything, because I like to share, like all YouTubers do. Do you have any advice on how to use contrast as smoothly as possible? As much as I try, it always pulls in a weird spot. Yeah, it always pulls in a weird spot. It's your job to go to that spot and not let it pull. So what I do is, as always, very small sections at a time. If you are having problems, just do a smaller section. There's always a way to find a section to make. I like to load my brush a lot and apply a good thick layer, let it sit, let it do its thing, and then go with, clean my brush thoroughly in the water, and with it just being just moist, just go around all the spots where I don't like it and absorb all the pullings. That's the only way to do it. Just let it do its thing, and then go around before it starts to dry and just absorb any paint what you don't want it to be. Marek, what's been your favorite model recently? Well, that is recently. I'm having an absolute lot of fun painting her. It's very old, pre-second edition. This is a Rogue Trader model, an Elder. What they call proto Dire Avengers. So they are technically Guardians, but they are designed with the plume helmet like the Dire Avengers, and then having a lot of fun with her. In fact, I'm having a lot of fun painting old models lately. all second edition Eldar models. I'm having such a good fun. They are great models to paint. And apart from that, my Shovel Knight series is where I had the most fun converting and painting. Yeah. Why Shovel Knight? Why not Shovel Knight? Shovel Knight, this is amazing. If you don't know what Shovel Knight is a video game made by Jack Club Games, I think it is, and it's one of the best 2D platformers ever made. So check it out, it's amazing. Thank you, Alberto. Josh Simpson has made it to the live stream. Welcome. You may have heard his name a lot of times if you watch my videos till the end. He's been a long-time supporter of the channel. Hi from Mexico, from Call Me Boyd. Hola. I'm waiting for Hollow Knight man myself. I haven't. That name is ringing something to me, but I can't place it. It seems like it's another video game. I'm quite out of the video game scene, so I will take a look about that. But I only started the Shovel Knight series because I saw a picture. I really liked the game, and I saw a picture of one Stormcast converted, and I just copied it. And it was fantastic. So yeah, we've been here. It's been 45 minutes now. If you have any more questions, get them in the chat. It's been a bit of a slow day today, but I'm having a lot of fun. So if you have any more questions or anything else you want to know, just put it in the chat and I will answer them. And if not, we can end this now. By the way, something fun about these live streams. I did one. I think it was the 26th. It was around Christmas. I can't really place the date, and I was alone. And actually, my wife got into the chat and wished me happy and said hello, and I just didn't see her, and she got a bit pissed. So I'm not sure if she's in the chat anymore, but yeah, things that happen. I just didn't saw her message. Would you consider painting a Funko Pop or one of those? No, thank you. Hate painting large models, and I really don't like Funko Pops. I get why people like them, but I really don't like Funko Pops. And big models are a big no for me. I hate painting large models. Sorry. Thank you, Alemir1. Okay, Sam Orange, how to track attention to a specific part of the mini beyond making it brighter. It's not really about making it brighter. It's about making it have more contrast than the rest of the model. You can make it. You can still make it as dark, but it has to be really contrasty. So if you see minis painted by some of the Spanish masters like Marc Masclans, you will see when he paints faces, especially, the face has a ton of contrast. It goes usually from pure black or from almost pure black to almost pure white, and it looks just so good. I mean, it's just upping up the contrast, and maybe you can also create interest by adding a different color, so a color that is only in just one part of the mini. So for example, you're painting in a Space Marine, you will want to do that with the eye lenses. So that's why there's usually a very contrasty color use, so your eyes go directly to there. So yeah, using a contrasty color to the surrounding area really helps, and also upping up the contrast as maximum will also draw attention. If the rest of the model is a bit duller, and the area you want to really people focus is really contrasty, that will really stand out. Thank you for watching it, Marek. It's been a pleasure to have you here. Okay, Emon Patton, have you any plans to paint the new Blood Bowl models or any Blood Bowl teams? Well, that is a tying question with my collaborations one, because if GW had sent me a box, I would have painted them. But as they haven't, I have no interest in really buying any Blood Bowl models for the time being. Once I ran out of Age of Sigmar and 40k factions, I will probably diverge into specialist games. But for the time being, if GW sends me something, I will paint it, and if they don't, it will happen because I like the models. I don't like the game for some reason. I never liked Blood Bowl, but I think they're a cool model. So once I need more content, I will probably use them. Yeah, Jedi is asking, buenas tardes. Which is your preferred color for base rims and why it's black? Yeah, it's black. I mean, as the man himself, Vince Venturella, says, any trim color for your bases is okay as long as it's black. But joking aside, I've used also browns. I like brown quite a lot. I use browns for my whole Lizardman army. I don't have any Lizardmans there. No. I've used brown for my whole Lizardman army, and they look good. So what I really don't like greens, and if I have to choose, it's either black or brown. But I've used a blue horror for my snow bases. For the Christmas special minis, I use blue horror, and it looks really good with snow. So that too. Daniel Ricardo Sanchez Askelan, tips for painting Savage Orc war paint. I would just paint the whole orc, and then what I do is I would paint the orc flesh as it is, and then I will just probably I will have there's a couple of ways you can do that. You can just paint it blue with a blue color, like blue flat acrylic, and then highlight those war paints as you did the rest of the flesh. So it is very important that the highlights are the same in both colors, so you can solve the effect. Or you can just try and make a glaze out of the color you want your war paints to be, and try to apply it as a glaze. With the skin of the orcs being green, that is a bit tricky, but I think it can work with some colors, but your best bet is to just paint it flat and then highlight and shade it the same way you did the orc skin. If I ever paint a Savage Orc, which I probably do because it's one of the AOS factions, I will probably do all the war paint. Yeah, Mark Atkinson has made a point. I won't paint the son of Behemoth, that's for sure. So you can expect that to never come to the channel. But I will paint an ogre. It will probably be one of the Underworld's warband. So because they are cheap to get. They are all very interesting poses and very dynamic minis. So I probably get one ogre from the Underworlds, and just paint it. And if there are any that I want to pick, I would just probably pick up a character, a tyrant or something. That is plastic, of course. Do you play Warhammer, and if so, what armies? I don't play Warhammer. I used to play Warhammer Fantasy. I got a lot of Warhammer 40k minis, but I never really played, apart from a couple of games with friends, but those doesn't count. And now I don't play Warhammer. I'm not interested in GW rules. GW makes amazing minis and makes shit rules, and I'm not interested in shit rules. I'm too old for that. I now play Kings of War, which I have a Listerman, Bretonnian, High Elves, Imperium, and a Stormcast army that I'm using for that game. The Stormcast I use as ogres, and the rest are just the corresponding faction, the corresponding equivalent faction. And apart from Kings of War, my undead army too. And apart from Kings of War, I also play Dead Zone, which is another Mantic Games game, and it's the best game ever made. Arian Perez, do you have any conscious paint recipe for painting darker skin tones? Not yet. But funny enough, if you watch my heavy contrast Space Marine series, there are a couple of videos where I paint dark leather that I use skin tones to highlight it. That will be probably quite a good approximation of what I will do. But if you want a really dark skin tone, like African skin tone or so, I will probably start with something like Cygor Brown, or a mix of Cygor Brown and medium of some sort, and then highlight it using the flesh tones, the darker flesh tones from the Citadel range. You have like Blood Reaper's flesh and Night Questor flesh and those kind of colors. Probably ending with something like Pugmon's Glow or Cardion Fleshstone. And then you can just add, you can glaze some purple into the shadows. That works really well. Yeah, Mark is asking, but that's my approach about an African skin tone would be probably that. Terrainosaur asking if I do commissions. No, I don't do commissions. I say this to everyone that is asking about commissions, which are a lot of people, is that I'm really thankful. Thank you for thinking about me. I really, really appreciate it. But I already have a job, and I for sure don't need 2 of those. So no, thank you. I do sell all the minis that I paint in the Heavy Contrast series are for sale. Right now I have the Poxwalker, the Arcanaut Company, the Daughter of Cain, and the Santa Claus dwarf, the Santa Claus Bookmanson. All those are for sale. So yeah, if you want one of those, just send me a message and it will be yours for the price, of course. Yeah, Marek says, I love the Fire Belcher Ogre. I love it too, but it's a pain to put together, and I'm not sure if I'm willing to go to such trouble to paint a mini that I don't really like, because I don't like ogres. As I don't like dwarfs. It's not a matter of hate, it's just I like elves. Gregory called, I have trouble using the darker contrast paints, Sage Purple, Flesh Tears Red. They always get either inconsistent coverage or the whole thing just becomes too dark. Yeah, oh yeah. You can, if you want to see me use Sage Purple, you have the video about my High Fleet Leviathan. That will show you more or less what you can do with Sage Purple to make it work better. But Sage Purple is a very difficult color to work with. Really difficult color to work with. I'm thinking about thinning it down with... I've thinned it down with Maker's Purple in that video and it works really well. I'm thinking about thinning it down using Druchii Violet in my next video. I just need to test all the recipes. Yeah, it's a very difficult color to paint. It's a good color to make something things like glazing in shadows, or panel lining, or freehand, or that kind of stuff. It works really well, but it's a hard color to work with. Same with Leviathan Blue, which I also use a lot to panel line the armor of my elves, and it works really well, but it's not a fun color to work with. And also Dark Angels Green and Psycho Brown and all those really dark colors. Fleischer's red, the only problem is if you let it pool, it will go very dark. So you really need to absorb more paint than you would normally do with other contrast paints. You need the absolute minimum pooling possible, because if you let it pool, it will dry really, really dark. And about fixing this, if it's already there, you just mix a lighter shade with regular acrylics and just paint over it. There is really not much to do. And about having good results, just thin them down. What I do with Fleischer's red, the red mix that I like to use now is 1 part Fleischer's to 1 part Blood Angel's red. Just mix those 1 drop of each, and it gives a beautiful red that still dries dark in the recesses, but it's not too dark, and it's really, really easy to work with. And it's also really easy to correct, because Evilson Scarlet will match absolutely perfectly to paint over if you have any splotches or any mistakes. And about Shai's, I use a set Maker's Purple, and it's just I've used Dark Angel's green with success, but you need a green undertone, like you can see in my heavy contrast Dark Angels video. But yeah, the darker paints from the contrast range are really hard to work with. They are not pleasant paints to work with. Yeah, black rim doesn't draw attention away from the mini. Sam is talking about what colored rim to paint on your minis. And also, as Spin says, the rim is not part of the mini. The rim is not part of the universe. It's just a way to frame the mini. And black just works perfectly for that. Yeah, for your basing videos, I would like to see Mowgli. Mogil is asking a swamp or rainforest base video for skins. As I said, my basing videos are really just about the products, not really about painting a particular base. So if you want a basing video, I would probably combine my basing paste video with the water effects. And then you can add some dry leaves, some leaves punch out with the green stuff wall leaf punchers, and just do something like that. Yeah, I'm not the guy to go about asking for basing advice. I'm horrible at basing. Ariam Perez, any interest in painting historical miniatures? Not really. I never really liked historical war games of any kind. I'm not interested. I don't like Bolt Action. I don't like Napoleonics, and I don't like. Maybe I'm not old enough. I'm not sure, but I'm really not interested in historical minis. I want fantasy. I like fantasy a lot, and I'm also not interested in real life medieval warfare. Also, I know. I like Britannia, but they are not real life. It's as close, but maybe they are as close as a real historical army as you can get in Warhammer. But I'm not interested. Sorry. Oh, thank you, Terrainosaur. I will watch that later, and we can talk about it. Yeah, heavy metal tau, heavy contrast tau series is coming. I have a tau mini that I will paint, and it will be the white cover scheme. So, because that's the one on the box, and the first one I paint is always the one on the box. Gregorio Salazar, he really enjoys a lot of my videos, and have a very good brush control for edge highlighting. So thank you, gracias. Guys, this has been about an hour. We are 58 people now watching, and I really appreciate it. If you have any more questions, I will leave a couple minutes more for you to pop them out. Let's call this the lightning round. And if you don't have any more questions, I will end the stream the stream is going to end really soon, so if you have any more questions, just pop them in the chat. And for all you that have been here, thank you very much for being here. I really appreciate it. I really hope you enjoyed this live stream, and I really hope you enjoyed what is to come. So in the meantime, while people is asking questions, I or not, I just want to remember you what is coming up right now in the channel. For Patreons and channel members, there is this video available, so you can watch that now. Pink Power Swords, that video is coming next Friday. Again, that video is already available for Patreon channel members, and next week after that you will be able to see my interpretation of High Fleet Behemoth, and that will be a very old school version of High Fleet Behemoth, because I really like the second edition Codex color scheme, the matte red. But I think it will look really good, and for God's sake, High Fleet Behemoth is the most dull and boring of all the High Fleet color schemes, so I think a bit of color really helps them. So yeah, I really prefer that. So that is coming in a couple of weeks. So yeah, as for people, okay, let me see, there are a couple more questions. Are any more Age of Sigmar models on the way? I have to see a fall of Winter Team Sylvaneth scheme. Funny enough, Sylvaneth is already on his base, ready for painting. So after the High Fleet Behemoth Tyranid, I will do Sylvaneth, but it will be box art. So it will be just the box art color scheme. So expect that. And yes, there are more Age of Sigmar videos coming for sure. Marvik is saying thank you, Juan. Please do this again. I do this once a month. I've been doing this since September, and I will keep doing this once a month. So I usually like to do this at the beginning of the month, and I will try to do that because there is another live stream coming at the end of the month. That is a surprise, so expect that coming, and that will be a continuous series too. I will do a live stream at the end of the month, or maybe better saying at the very beginning of each month. So let me rephrase that now that I have made my mind clear. So at the first week of each month, I will be doing a live stream that won't be this. That will be a new one, and the first one is coming on February. So stay tuned for that. I'm very excited about that one. And the P.A.B, it will also be once a month, and I will probably do it maybe about halfway on the month. So I do this whenever I can, really. It's not a defined date, but expect in the middle of the month, each month, you will have the P.A.B, and at the very beginning, the very first week, I will do another one, which is coming. And I'm really going to have a lot of fun, and I really hope you like it too. Mine is always bigger, probably. Are you planning to paint any Forge World models such as those in the character series? I have a Forge World model coming, a couple of them. Well, as I said, I have a Death Corpse of Greek model coming. And I also have a Solar Auxilia model coming, so expect both of them to appear in the channel. But as for characters, I really don't think so. I'm not interested in painting Space Marines, so that is quite a big deal. So, but again, as I said, I'm done painting Space Marines for the Hobby Contra series. I may paint another one for a painting competition, or for me, or I don't know. Just because I really like Space Marines, but I'm done of making videos about them. I've done one for each Legion. I think it's more than enough. Probably more than almost any other any other YouTuber has done. to this kind of level, because they are really time consuming to paint. So yeah, I really hope you liked everything I've made, but I'm not making any more Space Marines heavy contrast videos. Oh yeah, yeah, I know. Sorry. As Sebastian said, it should be remind you, not remember you. But it's the same. As he says, it's the same word in Spanish, but it's not the same word in English. So sorry if I sometimes make that kind of mistakes. That happens. Languages are complicated, and my brain is already tired enough of all the week's work to really be concentrating in what I'm doing. Other than GW Watch of February model range, I really like Dead Zone minis. I really like Dead Zone. Some minis are a bit goofy, some minis are really old and really pain to work with, but I really like Dead Zone. So yeah. Mantic models in general are really coming up in quality, especially the new plastic kits are really amazing. They have a plastic rats, plastic chaos dwarfs, and plastic they are the Basileans, which are kind of, I don't know, religious zealots, Imperium kind of humans, and they are absolutely stunning minis. Of obviously not the same quality as GW is right now, but who is more like maybe the GW of the noughties, of the 2000s. Yeah, that would be a fair comparison. So late noughties, that would be where GW is where Mantic is right now with their plastic, which is not bad actually. And the resin minis that Mantic make, I think is the best quality resin I've ever seen, or one of the best high quality resins I've ever seen. Absolutely amazing resin models. They fit like a dream. They have almost no mold lines, and they are just a joy to work with. So yeah, I think that was the last question by Rob. Yeah, I just got Mantic Hellboy. It's pretty nice. Yeah, it's really good. I have one Hellboy somewhere that I started painting for the channel and then lost all interest in it. So I don't know where he is. I don't know where he is. I have no idea, but I have one somewhere, and it's a really good model. So guys, again, just to close this down, thank you very much for being here. I see you in the next P.A.B session, and I see you at the beginning of February in a new live stream series that I really hope you like. I'm really excited about it, and it's really going to be very good fun. So thank you very much for watching, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.